everybody. I'm going to give you a little bit of feedback. Ordinarily, video feedback is for the online students, but I wasn't able to be with you in some cases, so I wanted to give you some video feedback. Felt that that would help you. All right, so the first thing I always do is try and get this the actual size. You can see it's pretty big here. So I'm going to go through as a first-time user, all right, rather than reading your comments about it or your responses to the questions for this assignment. I'm just going to look at it as if I know nothing about it. I'm landing here. I'm going to check out the usability, if it makes sense to the user, and that's the kind of feedback I'm going to give you, all right? That will be the most helpful for you. So, all right, this I think needs a little space. It's hard for me to read a little bit. You could distinguish the four, either make it a little bigger, put a little, maybe a bullet between each. Maybe you've already tried all that, and that's okay. I do like how this works. I like the large lettering template. Make sure you change this, all right? The 2028. This is going to Facebook. You want it to go to yours, and you want to make sure that your brand is being carried through. If these are not your photos, then you want to make sure that everything you put in here is your photo. These may be. I don't like to decide, if they are or are not a student's work. I can't always tell if I haven't looked at the template. The template is supposed to be submitted, but like I said, I'm just looking at this. Okay, so I want to click on this. Okay, this one is going to yours, Matt. So I feel like we have two templates maybe. Okay, so this one needs to, you need to just hook those up to where you have one, you don't need both. Decide where you want it. I feel like there's a big jump here, a big change. Like I'm not sure why this isn't the full page, this one. If it has something to do with the quality, reshoot it if you can. But this one's being cut off. This would have to come up a little bit. This is your about me. Left align your text like you have here, but let's see if you have another photo so you're not cutting off your face and hand here. That's really important. And I'm not sure that's the same font you use everywhere else, the same color, looks different. This is being cut off, so little work on that for sure. Yeah, this whole image, see what that's like here instead of this one. This works okay like this. I'm not sure it fits with your photo here. If this could probably go or be put someplace else. It's not front and center. And if you're talking about being from Harrisburg, that's not in here. I want everybody to look at, there's a site, and I'm going to look for that link for you guys. I want everybody to go here to this site, all right? And look at this. Here's the link down here. Tell me about yourself, all right? I want everybody to look at that and think about it for their about section. Check this on multiple browsers because it's running off here. All right, this is interesting. Services, super important. Always produce your logos in a vector graphic. So, Illustrator, scalable vector graphic. SVG. This can mean a couple of things. I would choose another font, okay, that you have. Make sure it's a web-friendly font, something that you know is pretty standard. And see if this goes away. Line these up here, okay, bring that up, and put that into probably 2 or 3 lines, same here and same here. This background isn't working. Line these things up. This worked better over the salmon color. We can't read it well here, and it's taking a long time to load, so that means it needs to be optimized. You may not want your phone number on here. Let them contact you, and you decide whether you want to give your phone number out. Okay, so you've got some work on the headers for sure. Simplify and align left like a grid. Okay, so this works. Just it gets a little crowded, a little busy. All right, okay. So you've got time to work on this and add new work over the year. Think about your brand and think about what kind of work you want to create and start doing that. Think about the kind of images you want. Have people take lots of pictures of you when you're working on something, and so you can start collecting your profile shots and see. We have events usually where maybe when we get back on campus where there's a photography booth or something set up for portraits. So just things to keep in mind. Just watch for your color palette and start creating content. Be mindful of the work you create, of your projects in school, of your photos that you take, and apply your brand to those, your style guide. All right. All right. Look forward to seeing it again. Nicholas. Nice. Okay. Okay. Try left align, at least this part. Okay. I've built with clients and colleagues. Ships I built, I firmly believe. If you're interested in learning more about me and my work. Okay. All right. I do like your logo, and it appears to be a vector graphic. Here's the thing, you guys. You won't be able to use a red Twitter sign, for example. YouTube, yeah. But Twitter and Instagram, they have their own brand, and I believe it was provided as a resource for you guys as a download, but you can do a quick Google and search Twitter brand guide, and it will tell you exactly what you can and cannot do. Unfortunately, red is out. That would not be a color that they would approve of. It's off-brand for them. But you could use white, I think, and still stay with your brand. Okay. Double check and look at the brand guide. I would look right now, but I know you guys are going to want to hurry, get through this. Okay, let's know who Mike McCormick is. Maybe just a little, we don't want to mess up the simplicity, but, a little word here so everyone knows who Mike McCormick is. Okay, I like your grids. Kind of like that. Is that yours? Yeah. Okay, so we've seen this already, and so you can Photoshop this stuff out, but let's not duplicate. Okay. Nice and sharp. Okay, you might want to lead with something like this. Add a little bit more catch light. You can do that in Photoshop. I'm not sure that these are all, some of these are off-brand, A client may not be interested in, cat pictures and certain things. They do want to just see great design. So this is awesome. I would bring that up. This is a nice shot, so it's not out of the question. This one you already have. This maybe comes up. This could probably be replaced. I know it's nice and all that, but you're thinking brand. So this can be either at the top or maybe stay there, but also think about bringing this one up. All right. As we continue to scroll, I hope that's not your address. All right. I think maybe it is. So you want to change that. Just put Central Florida and include your own images. Yes to this. I feel like they could be your images, but I feel like they're stock. So try to get something that doesn't feel quite as much like stock, but reflects, web design. Maybe a mock-up with a site that you've made, a homepage or something. One of your best pages. All right, that would be the thing there. I don't know that you need this much space for feedback, which is not up here. Book online. Okay, we have this already on your home page, so we're going to have to clean up some stuff. And here's something I want everyone to think about too. Your contact page is going to go at the end, and it is going to be there. And it's going to be in order. Right now, you've got a services page under your contact. So that will probably have to move. So you can have plans and pricing, if that's what that is, and then your contact right here. So in this, you're going to move it because you do want your contact at the end. Right now, it's before this. This is going, I think, to yours. Just maintain your brand. This is not linking to anything, so you want to link that. Okay, you've got time, but you just want to start cleaning, things up a little bit, being selective. Think about your brand this year, next month when you are creating projects, and think about what would look awesome on your site, because sometimes, that's going to really promote you. All right, great start. I had a question about the prompted news. Did you mean prompt news, like timely? Not sure that that's used in this way. You've got time to keep thinking about that. This, I'm just, I would need an explanation for that. It's not a term that I am familiar with in this way. All right. This might need to be a little bit bigger text. Might be a little tough to read. And we've got this container that would need to go. Take off this if it's going anywhere. And we only have 2 posts. And again, any contact is going to go below the blog. Okay. As long as you keep going with this and keep posting or take the date off if you find that you're not posting very much. I don't see when I land right here, it doesn't tell me exactly what you do right away. Okay, I have to scroll to figure it out. So you need to be very clear about what your service is and the name of your company. There's a logo, but no name of your company or your name. Your name is down here. So maybe this needs to go here. Okay, and this can split or whatever, but that needs to be added. Examples of your work. You're going to need examples. If it's writing, then that's going to need to take front and center. Certainly not this big thing, block here. This is going to be at the very end. And yeah, okay, so this is a little much. All right, I look forward to seeing the next time. Okay, CJ, we've looked at this. We've talked about it. It's nice and clean. Everybody agreed that the CJ is easy to read. We liked this. Remember, you were going to give a little header here. Maybe change that. Very good. You gave your titling here, your descriptors of what you did in this video. That's really important. Provided a guide for people to know what your role is in this, and so everybody will need to do that for theirs. If you have a video, in this case he's director and editor, but what if he was one or the other, or cinematographer, and may have been. Okay, we looked through these in class and we discussed that. We discussed this, we really liked it. And so, yeah, all right. So you know what suggestions and feedback were discussed, and it's in a great place right now. All right, good job. Nicholas, clean. Again, same thing. You're going to need to look at the Twitter brand guide. Shouldn't be too hard to change that. I would go with probably white, and you could make it smaller if you want, or not. If you want to just keep it big. I would left align this. Nice. Again, we want to know what your role was in this. Have as few fonts as possible. And what you have here is different from this. Let's update this. And I think it's pretty good, but I like this. I think you want to maybe have less going on the home page here. Think about that. Feel like this is important. I feel like this is important. I'm not sure this is important. Maybe at some point, this comes up. We'll make space here, so maybe something has to come up. Again, use a mock-up for your Real Deal Tacos when you put it in your portfolio. Okay, that will also prevent clipping this logo and so forth. We'll fix that. And you just look for computer screen mock-up. Okay, so this is swiping. All right, so we kind of have this idea twice. I like it like this. I can see it a little bit, it's a little bit bigger. So I like that. So maybe the home page is simpler. Chances are good you didn't shoot this. Could be wrong. So maybe these aren't here. Maybe you work with this somehow. I do like it, but we have it twice, and so we don't need to do that. I mean, maybe this goes on your home page. That could happen. You could go straight to something when you're on home. It comes up, something like this with your logo. Right here, your logo here, smaller, navigation here, and that could be fine. It's not as broken up, so maybe this this design becomes your home page. Yeah, we're having to scroll to get into the content. So I would definitely freeze this, and all you have to do is click on your header in your editor and go into the setting, and you'll have an option to select freeze, and that will make that freeze. Okay. All right, try and align these rather than breaking them up 2 and 1. If it means removing one, then maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe you have 2, and so we don't scroll as much. It could be this one and that one. They might match well. Try and leave a little more space. You did provide your content what you did. Maybe that's a little bit at the bottom here and here, so that we can get straight into this. Like maybe it lands here, well, it'd have to be here because you need to have your logo and your navigation, but then it's fishing videos. These come up, 2 of these come up. Reduce size if you can a little bit to get a little more padding in here and on the side. And put this, down here. And I recommend moving or deleting one. Okay, school videos. We don't have to call them school videos because they're still work that you did, and people continue their education their whole life. You don't have to tell them. You can at some point rename this Keep these as short as you can so they're not covering up. Do you have this in a horizontal? Because that would be good. Okay, so now you're talking about audio. We need that to be a little bigger. This is taking up a lot of space. You still need the information, but it needs to not be primary real estate that it's taking up. This you would want to say, you know, audio, make it a little bigger. Maybe here, audio, and then the projects. Here, videographer, editor. So this could just be videographer, editor, editor. I know you say photographer, but if there's not a primary role, then I would just use videographer and editor and bring these up under one heading, videographer and editor, and just have those. And then get into audio and editor, bring all that down. It's going to bring these up a little bit. Do have some padding, but bring those up. Then you're going to have graphic design, which, you know, you could put here, all the same size. Yeah, there's just a lot of unnecessary scrolling that you can still provide the content for, the information that is needed, but reduce the space that it's taking up a little bit. And a mock-up. All right, let's go to the about. Okay, left align. Okay, and make sure you guys all look at the about. You're going to get into this quicker. Maybe this needs to be a little smaller. It can be because it doesn't really have to be much deeper than this. So a little bit smaller for less scrolling. You want to get into this content quicker. I like this. I'd make it just a little smaller. Okay, and make sure that I'm, yeah, just a little bit smaller. Okay. Good, good, good. I like the way you have it gridded, and I like the way you have everything broken up like that. This doesn't have an apostrophe S. It's a Bachelor of Science. You could just put a BS if you want, or Bachelor of Science. Okay. But you've done a pretty good job with spelling overall. Let's try their contact, which is here. Okay. You know, it's nice. It's easy to read. It's really easy to read. Just think you want to get in a little bit sooner. All right. Okay, left align that. Okay. Great job, everybody. I can't wait to see what you're producing over the year, and it's going to be exciting to see where you are. All right. Have a great evening.